Hypnotist Sappho
Dog fucker
has joined your lobby.
This video makes me lose hope in humanity. I thought I was watching a YouTube video. I didn't know I was at an abortion clinic. Unfortunately, it was a failed abortion, so now we have whatever this is. Thank you, Zaffa, for being a perfect example of why you shouldn't drink, smoke, or do drugs while pregnant. Yeah, I agree with that. Well said. Hey, I'm Retro, and today we're gonna be reacting to the video by Hypnotist Sappho. I know I'm a little late to this whole thing, but I really wanted to commentate over this and share my opinion, so that is why I made this video. I know I don't agree with this video in any way, shape, or form. I feel disgusted after watching this, and honestly, I feel like this shouldn't even be on YouTube. This feels like something you would find in Life Leak or something. Anyways, let's get into this dog shit video. Like, you could stop with the heavy breathing. I just hate when YouTubers try to talk about a taboo subject but have to breathe so loudly at the start.
Hi everyone, you all know me as Sappho, and I wanted to make a video about coming out. Coming out with anything can be very difficult, especially if it's something that society currently views with disgust or is a bit dangerous to even come out with the way that things are right now.
You're talking like if this problem would be resolved at some point. At no point I think the world would ever accept zoophiles as something normal. I don't think anybody would say fucking a dog is a normal thing to do in the world.
And it's a lot like when homosexuals were coming out in the 1960s.
It had no way you just said that. It had no way you just said coming out as a zoophile is the same as coming out as a homosexual in the 1960s. Like, your arguments is so dog shit.
During Stonewall and those sorts of events. And I know that 99% of my viewers, my community, you don't have anything wrong with homosexuals or gay people. You support them, you support LGBT, nothing against them.
Yeah, I support LGBTQ, maybe because I'm a part of it. But you know, one thing that I do support is having sex with animals. Yeah, that's something I do support.
But I guarantee that many of you, even if you can't imagine it now, if you were growing up in the 1960s and were being fed all of the news and social propaganda about how gay people should stay in the closet, how it's unnatural and against nature, and all sorts of crazy shit like that, a lot of you would probably be anti-gay, anti-LGBT. And that's just how it is.
You're talking like if people hate zoophiles just because other people talking shit about it. That is not the case. We hate zoophiles because it hurting animals, not because we get influenced by other people to think that way, right? So far your arguments not making any sense, so I just don't believe anything you're saying.
And I respect you all, and frankly, this sort of thing would have leaked out eventually, especially with how cancel culture is these days and other furry drama. There would be people out there that, they want to have a gotcha moment. They want to build their fame and popularity and, expose people.
Look, right, I'm not here to gain fame off of you or whatever. I'm here because I'm concerned about the animals zoophiles abuse on a daily basis. It is disgusting to me and I feel like to vomit every time I hear about it.
And I'm just not going to give the opportunity for a Sappho exposed kind of video.
What do you mean? You're giving me multiple amounts of information to make an exposed video about you. If you didn't want to have an exposed video about you, you should have just shut your mouth and never made this video in the first place.
And I would rather suck the air out of the sails of the ransonas and instead of letting this sort of thing build, just be open and honest about myself and my beliefs.
Look, I'm sorry to tell you. Wait, no, actually, I'm not sorry to tell you that I don't care about your beliefs, you know? Your beliefs is dog shit if it involves having sex with animals, harming animals. So, yeah, your beliefs is totally fucked.
And I want to clear the air and say that for the record, I am a zoophile. You did not mishear that. I am a zoophile.
Oh, wow. You love sticking a dick in a dog? Oh, congratulations, man.
I do not have a thing for humans. I am more attracted to dogs like German Shepherds.
Oh my god. I just lost hope in humanity after hearing that sentence. Please don't ever say that again. How do people like you even get created? Like, you never had a boyfriend or a girlfriend growing up in your childhood, and your parents just own you or something, so the only friend you had was your dog. So then you started having a relationship with your dog. Like, what happened in your childhood to make you this way?
If you are willing to stay and listen to my view and explanation, that is the point of this video. It is to show that there are ethical guidelines.
What do you mean ethical guidelines? What is ethical about having sex with a dog? Please proceed. I want to hear these ethical guidelines you have here.
It's not so black and white like many furries think that it is, and a full explanation as to the way that I think and the way that others think and why. Zoophilia is often very misunderstood,
To be honest, there's nothing misunderstood about it. If it's anything other than having sex with animals, then yeah, we misunderstood. But that's exactly what we're thinking.
especially because of certain very terrible people and what you may have seen in the news. And someone that I will not mention, if you remember that situation with the zoo sadism leaks a few years back.
Oh my god. Yeah, see what you're trying to do, right? You're gonna mention a bunch of real bad stuff and real disgusting and horrible stuff that Zoofiles has done in the past. And then you're gonna refer it back to you and act like you're not that bad, which is not how it works. It's a crime either way.
Unfortunately, when people think of zoophiles, especially furries, that's the person that comes to mind. That is the situation that comes to mind. And I'm talking about horrible abuses.
Talking like if you don't do the same thing. Like you may not be as extreme as the whole zoo sadism thing, but at the end of the day, you're still raping an animal, right? An animal that cannot consent. No matter how much argument you put in front of me, I am not going to conform and say an animal could consent because it cannot, right?
And I'm not accusing a certain individual of anything here, but those leaks showed some truly horrendous people doing awful things to puppies, dead animals, animal gore, and other atrocities that I really wish would have been prosecuted, but unfortunately, most could not, either by legal technicalities or so on. And it's a really sore thing for me because I would have liked to have seen justice in that case. I really would have liked to see that justice. But just because somebody was not charged or prosecuted does not mean that they were not guilty of what those videos showed and what those logs showed. And I will leave it at that.
Okay, I understand what you're trying to say, right? But counter argument, why did you tell me all of that in the first place? You're trying to gain sympathy points from the people who are watching this because you're basically saying, oh wow, look at these zoophiles, look what these zoophiles have done, look at the horrible and disgusting things these zoophiles have done. And then you're going to come back and say, well, at least I'm not as bad as those people, right? Yeah, that is not how it works.
I couldn't imagine somebody doing that sort of shit to my animals, my mate.
See, did not tell you. They just said all of that just so they could gain sympathy for themselves. And another thing, please don't ever call your dog your mate. That made me want to vomit. Please don't ever see that again.
My just I can't imagine who would harm another living being in those ways.
Yeah, I just can't imagine, right? Yeah, I can't imagine. I wonder who would do that, who would harm animals in those ways, man. I just can't think of who it is. You're being such a hypocrite and you don't even see it. It's so funny. I like how you said harm another living being in those ways. It's as if you know that you're harming your animal, but you're trying to justify your own wrongdoing and feel better about yourself by saying, well, at least I'm not as bad as other people. I could see the insecurities that you're trying to hide.
And to be 100% clear, I am not like that.
What do you mean? Like, I know you may not be as bad as these zoophiles you just mentioned, but you're still committing a crime at the end of the day, so don't feel happy about yourself.
Most of the zoo community is also not like that and utterly despises it.
It's as if the whole zoo community in a state of denial. It's as if they see that they're doing something wrong, but they're just carried away with their own self desires that they're trying to push under the rug that they're doing something bad. And they're trying to get as much information to show people that what they are doing is something good when it is just something disgusting and shouldn't even be a thing in the first place.
People who force animals into situations they don't want, physically and through other means, are completely deplorable and seen as rapists.
Oh, thanks for telling me. I guess he's a rapist then, because that's exactly what you're doing. Because as I know, an animal cannot consent to having sex, so you just basically raping an animal.
Playing with an animal that is not sexually mature is like the equivalent of pedophilia, and it's treated as such.
You're talking like if an animal were to be at the age of sexual maturity, that it would be able to comprehend what is consensual sex and be able to consent to having sex with anything. That is not the case because an animal cannot comprehend those kind of concepts, right? How stupid can you be to even think that?
I do not support those people, and they do not deserve the same title. They're fetishists and bestialists.
It's so ironic because you are those things. The things that you say that is horrible and that is disgusting, you are that. I don't understand how you don't see it.
I do not want them to be the face of the community, and they should not be the face of the community. It's like literal Nazis considering themselves furries in the fandom.
Oh my god. Like, I can't listen to this person anymore. Like your arguments making no sense whatsoever and you're not helping yourself in any way. Like instead of the nine circles of hell is the nine circles of retardation and every sentence you say I going further and further down the circle because I feel like every time you talk you're sounding more stupid every time.
You don't want them. We don't want them. We don't want that image to be what people think about.
You just said is the exact same feeling we from the furry fandom think about zoophiles. We don't want you, and we don't want your image to be part of what people think when they think of furries, right? So please get away from the furry fandom and don't associate yourself with we in any way, shape, or form, because we do not want you here.
Ethical zoos are not like that.
Oh my god, you could shut up about ethical zoos? There's nothing ethical about zoophilia, right? So just please stop talking about ethical zoos. There's nothing like that.
Zoophiles are among the most caring and loving people towards animals and their mates. We see animals as equals to humans. not as property or an object like in the eyes of the law and others.
Oh, your real care and love for your animal? I didn't know sexual abuse was part of loving and caring for an animal. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Specifically, I and other ethical zoos follow what's called Zeta principles. Zeta being the Greek symbol, but also standing for zoophiles engagement, for tolerance and acceptance. So if you see that symbol on a furry, that's probably what they're referring to, or they're an ally towards that kind of cause.
Thanks for telling me that. So anytime I see somebody with that symbol in the name, I would know to block them.
And those principles are bestow upon animals the same kindness one would wish bestowed upon oneself.
In that logic, I guess you would want to be raped at any time then, because you rape your animals, so I guess you would want to be raped as well.
Consider the well being of an animal companion as important as one's own.
Well, I guess your well being is total dog shit then, because you treat your animal the same way if you're going to rape them.
Place the animal's will and well being ahead of one's desires for sexual gratification.
That one had no sense being there, because you break that rule every time you have sex with your animal.
Teach those who seek knowledge about zoophilia and bestiality without promoting it.
Well, you have broken that rule as well, because if this video was made to enlighten people about zoophilia and bestiality, you have been promoting it all through this video.
Discourage the practice of bestiality in the presence of fetish seekers.
What you mean? Aren't you a fetish seeker yourself? By saying that you want to have sex with animals and you get sexual gratifications from having sex with animals, then that is a fetish, so that makes a fetish seeker.
Censor sexual exploitation of animals for the purpose of financial gain.
What you mean? Yeah, the amount of like bestiality porn out there is shocking. So yes, people do get financial gain from the sexualization of animals.
And censor those who practice and promote animal sexual abuse.
Well, I haven't seen you censor yourself because you promote animal sexual abuse by making this video.
Zoophiles are not the same as bestialists and fetishists who do not follow those principles.
You talk like if zoophilia is like a religion or something. You guys have your own like symbol and you have your own 10 commandments here. Like, what the hell is happening?
Hypothetically speaking, I would see my partner or my mate as an equal to myself. Everything would be out of love, care, and affection for their wellness and well being.
To be honest, I fucking fed up hearing this argument, and I bet the people who watching my video fed up hearing this argument as well. Because at what point in a animal's well-being is there room for sexual gratification? I think you could take an animal without having sex with it, because it is not required to have sex with the animal in order to show love and affection, right? They could do that in other ways. So please stop with this fucking dumbass argument.
And a lot of people have issues with this sort of thing, which is understandable. I can understand the point of view that others have about my views. The biggest argument, of course, that comes up is about consent and what is that like, right?
Okay, come to the point of the video I was actually watching it for. So let me see this very dog shit explanation why you think animals could consent.
And they want to compare like apples to oranges. They want to compare a grown adult sexually mature animal to like a toddler, basically, comparing apples to oranges. And in my opinion, it's a bad faith argument. I don't think you can compare a sexually mature animal to a not sexually mature human. I think it's bad faith.
My god, I fucking done with this argument. You're trying to say that a mature animal could have sex, and you're again angry that we comparing it an animal to a toddler. The reason why people doing that is because an animal has the mental capacity of a toddler. Why you think we doing that for? You're talking like if an adult animal has the same mental capacity as an actual human adult. That is what you're saying. You're so stupid, you don't even see it. It's the most dumbest argument I've ever heard. A 3 to 4 year old child is probably smarter than any animal out there. Why do you think we compare it to children? We compare animals to children because it has the comprehension of a child. Like, I don't understand your argument. You're talking and saying how an adult animal could consent to sex, right? But at the same time, could an adult animal understand maths? Could an adult animal understand English language? Can an adult animal understand social studies? No, it doesn't because is an animal, right? It cannot understand those kinds of stuff. Please, oh my god, please shut up with this nonsensical bullshit argument for once, right? An animal cannot consent because an animal doesn't understand what is consent in the first place.
But back to that hypothetical, and my view on it is that if my mate came up to me, loved me, and wanted something more in that moment, why would I deny them that need?
Wait, what? What? That makes no sense. What signs does an animal show that it would want to have sex with a human? I don't understand your brain is probably wired a different way or something from mine, because you making no sense to me. Like, I don't understand how could you even know that in the first place. I think you just try to look for some sign that is non-existent in the first place so you could go push your own desires onto your animal. Your animal doesn't ask to have sex with, right? Because animals do not want to have sex with human species. The animals want to have sex with their own species.
I want to care for their well being and help them feel good.
You don't want to care for their well-being and help them feel good, you want to help yourself feel good.
At the same time, if the animal is uncomfortable or walks away, that's a no. That's a do not continue. That's a I do not consent.
Yeah, no shit. Maybe you shouldn't be sticking your dick in your animal in the first place.
I have a really close zoo friend that can explain more in a non hypothetical way in the second half of this video.
Yeah, and I'm gonna watch all of that because it's just both of them just talking and agreeing with each other and just joking off each other with their beliefs or whatever the hell is call it. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video now. If there was one thing to learn from this video is please do not have sex with animals. Like, it is just rape. There's no consent to it because the animals do not understand what is consent. If at the off chance that a zoophile watches this video, then I highly recommend you should go to a licensed mental professional and talk about this because this is not normal. So with that said, this is the end of the video, so bye.